Rise and shine, and welcome to a new episode of the ASOM experience. How amazing it is to be alive again today. I've been asking this question every single time I come on this podcast because it's a very good reminder for you, for me, and for everyone who's listening. And I just felt like starting off today with sharing just some stats. I've been looking into the analytics. Last time, I've shared some of the our audience backgrounds from which countries they're connecting. I was looking into ages, and it's interesting that our demographics show that 75% of listeners are between the age of 28 and 34. That's very interesting because I also lie between these ages. So it's good to know that we have similar ages who are connecting and listening. Once again, whether you're listening or you're watching, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. This time is for you before anything else. And whatever you're doing, whether you're at the gym or you're cooking or you're walking your dog or anything you're doing, it's great that you're doing it. So I stand by thanking you so much for being here. And I'm sure you're excited by now. So today we have a very exciting guest. I'll start off by sharing. So he's an entrepreneur. He is a strategic partner manager at Facebook. And he is a French decathlete. He's also a UNC Tarheel, and he is the founder of LVQM app. So many things to discuss, and a lot of interesting insights that we are gonna go through. And I'm so happy to welcome the one and only Mateo Sossah. Hi, Mateo.
This sounded very, very formal and grandiose. So thank you for this introduction. Yeah, super happy to be here. I know we've had multiple talks before joining this podcast and doing this session, and they were all really amazing. So really, really excited to discuss about life experiences and more widely just helping people be happier. And if anyone can get any tips from our experiences and apply it to their lives and become a happier version of themselves, I think we would have done our job. So excited to get into it.
Beautiful, Matt. You've just really defined the main purpose of what we're doing here. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Usually I do explain to people who are listening just a little bit of context on how we met. So I'm going to allow you to actually give that story and deliver it. Go ahead. How did we meet, Matt?
Actually, we didn't meet that long ago, but since we met, it was kind of an instant friendship type of thing. We met at a festival named Edone, festival that focuses on just happiness and the pleasures of lives and of life and sharing with each other with no judgment, no boundaries. And that was really an amazing experience to be able to be part of that. And of course, during the festival, we just people talk to each other, share experiences, why they're here, what they do in life, and we instantly connected, started sharing some stuff that we had with us and brought to the festival, some stories of the previous things that we've done in our lives, what we're currently doing. And what was funny is that it instantly was clear that we were kind of on the same vibe. Just wanted to share some love with each other and just trying to be a happy people in this world. So it was definitely a good experience.
I love this. Matt, you are actually the definition of, one of the happy people I've met, also very recently. So I'm just gonna, for the listeners and people who are watching, go ahead and check Matt's Instagram. You're gonna see his wide smile. You're gonna feel his vibe, his energy. He's someone that you would definitely recognize in a huge public. So I would say go ahead and check Mateo Sossah. So it's Mateosossah. and look him up. He's really someone you wanna find in your feed. I would say this. So
Thank you.
Matt, yeah, it was definitely very interesting the context we met through. Although we've seen each other one time so far, I'm happy that we can connect again today and share further. And thank you for being part of the ASOM experience. You've been also in your path and your journey. You've been also spreading and sharing a lot of I would say a lot of positive insights also through what you've been through in terms of career, in terms of athleticism, in terms of your growth, your background. It's true we have not discussed so many stories, but I feel like this is the right time to go through these. So I've prepared a few questions, and
Okay.
I'll just start by giving you really the whole, I would say, freedom to tell us more about your story and why are you here today.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm excited to hear what kind of questions you've prepared. But as context, and the reason why we actually connected this well is because we share a passion for some esoteric subjects, I guess, or subjects that kind of link our internal state, be it our beliefs or thoughts or emotions, and the reality that we actually get to experience. Personally, on my side, this came after a long journey of introspection, trying to really find out how to really be happy instead of having outside consequences and situations kind of decide how I will feel. But kind of separating from this and deciding what I want to feel and how I want my life to be from the inside, and seeing how everything can actually change. And going down that route, it's really been truly amazing. Like everything has completely changed. My relationships with friends, with family, with myself, on a material level as well. Everything is starting to click. Getting some apartments, like all of the things that I've always wanted to do or to have are actually shaping up, and I know that it's because of this change in mindset. And yeah, what I want to do now is try to get as many people as possible to experience what I experienced, because it does take some work to build those new positive habits. But when you get a hang of it, and when you do it, everything starts to change for the better. So yeah, super excited to share and potentially help some people, hopefully.
Absolutely. You are, Matt. You are doing that on a micro level and also on a macro level. And we will be talking also more about your project, your new project, your baby, which is LVQM. We'll definitely talk more about this because it has so much in store for everyone who's interested in the world of personal development and self-help and self-care. So, Matt, really great to have you. I'm just so excited, and I just want to tell us what motivates you to wake up in the morning. What gets you up and running?
What gets me fired up?
Yeah.
Actually, I think that what I really my goal number one is in life, and I think I told that to some of my best friends a couple of years ago, and I was like, after living a life of being a professional athlete for a long time and having goals like going to the Olympics and going to Worlds and getting those medals and having those like high power emotions that you can feel when you actually get to those goals, I needed to have something that is equally as firing, something that really comes from the inside and that drives a lot of emotions. And for a long time, it was difficult to replace track and field and the decathlon, which I did for several years. But as I started to, understand how I could change myself and have a direct impact on my happiness and a direct impact on others and a direct impact on what I can actually have in my life, this truly became my passion. And more than that, the goal that I wanted to have is to see, okay, if the positivity of the emotions that I feel, the beliefs that I have about myself, about the world, is going to be reflected to me, what would happen if I go on the other side of the spectrum and just am 100% loving being for everything that I encounter, for all the people that I meet, for myself. Yeah, my goal is to try to push in that direction, and also try to experience as much of life as possible. And for me, that also goes with, traveling, having different things that allow you to experience also more. Um, so yeah, my goal is to have a life without limits,
Mm.
and to see how far I can push in that direction, and also share what I learned with as many people as possible. Because truly, if I have to summarize with one thing, we see like in the world, there's so many people that are not happy nor not fulfilled, and we always wait for the outside to give us an answer, be it a government or friends or family. People should be responsible to help us get out of this state. But I firmly believe that we only get there if we find a way to individually make ourselves happy, make ourselves fulfilled, invest in our happiness. And yeah, if every single person manages to get there, that's when we'll have a more happy a happier world. I firmly believe that, and I guess what motivates me every day is to try to help as many people as possible
Mm.
get to that point, and change the world in that way.
Absolutely, Matt. That's so beautiful. And the fact that you mention it's a good reminder for everyone. It all starts initially within, it's an individual work. And when I say work, and I always use the word work because I refer to inner work, what is, the mental, the psychological, and also the spiritual work that we do internally, which also reflects on our external world. And what you're doing is you're channeling all this, the outcome of the work that you've been doing for the past years, and this feeling of, I would say, balance and joy
Mhm.
and bliss that you have within you, that you want to spread out and you want to touch as many people as possible. So this is a beautiful mission here. um, if I may say that it's your mission, maybe that this is one of our questions actually. But before that, tell me what was one of your major turning points or one of your aha moments? What really changed the course of your life?
That's a very, very deep question. And I guess it's more of a process. There are some moments that were more defining than others, but in reality, it's a process where you get kind of like upgrades along the way. And what I found, the correlation to this is the more I actually learn to let myself just be me, because I guess I spent too much time when I was younger and growing up, paying attention to what others thought, how I was perceived, what would happen if I did this or did that, and trying to control, the outcome of what I wanted to achieve by trying to control my outside world. And the first thing that I learned that actually helped me a lot was to just drop this, just to focus on, if there is something that you really want to do, then do it. Follow your heart, follow your instinct, and just trust that everything will go well after that. And sometimes it's hard because you're trying to get out of your comfort zone, and it doesn't feel natural. It feels a little bit
Hmm.
scary, and you want to be that new person, but it also feels more secure to stay the way you are. And once you start taking more and more of those leaps of faith and investing in really you, and be like, okay, whatever happens, at least I'm being really authentic, then things really, really change. So that was the number one thing that I would say that I have learned that has helped me along the way. And I mean, obviously, there are also many books and videos and people who inspired me, and you know, they give you pieces of the puzzles along your journey. The idea is not to have one person that teaches you everything, or that from which you from who you're going to learn everything that you need to know, but to kind of gather experiences of different people and how they actually managed to get what they wanted and to feel more of what they wanted to feel. And yeah, to me, the answer of looking within and giving yourself first more of that love was the number one thing that really changed everything. Because then when you give yourself more love, you're not expecting anything from the outside anymore. You're
Correct.
kind of self-sufficient.
Correct.
So when you actually engage with something or with someone, it's because you truly decided that that was going to add some value to what you already had. It's not something that you're dependent on, and that really, yeah, changed the dynamic of many of my relationships, of many of my friendships, even at work, professionally. This was really the key.
Amazing. So you definitely felt this, I would say, new level of awareness or consciousness, where you've understood that, you need to cultivate this love from within, and to give yourself the attention or the focus for you to be able to cultivate and then, channel that out. So that's an amazing reminder also for everyone who's listening and watching. I hope you guys are taking notes. Actually, I know this is being recorded, but it's just so full of nuggets. And thanks, Matt.
And actually, on that note as well, giving yourself the opportunity to really be authentic and be you, simply be you. Like, you don't owe anyone
Yeah.
anything. If someone says you can't do this because you have to do that because you're this, like, this is a signal to just stop. Like, if it is something that you're aligned with and you think you're not hurting anyone, then it should be your right to do that thing and to be the way you are. And if someone is not happy with it, then it is their problem.
Mm,
But on the other side, it is also our duty to accept others for who they are. No one owes us anything, and it is a two-way street. And when you let people be who they are, even when they do something that may hurt you or something that you would not agree with, but just accepting the diversity of experiences that people have and the diversity of personalities that people have, and not taking it for yourself, then you just really become free of a lot of tormenting and anxiety and stress and sadness, because you're just being yourself 100%, and you're letting people do that as well, understanding that everyone is on their own journey. So yeah, that was kind of like the two-way street that helped the most, being yourself and letting others be themselves.
that's beautiful, Matt. The idea behind, seeing the other and understanding where they're coming from as well, which allows us also to accept them. I think this is really truly important, since we're in a, first of all, the fact that we are, shifting a lot online, and we're connecting with people from everywhere with different mentalities. And um, you definitely you engage with people from many countries, so you're exposed to different cultures as well. And you see that, it's hardly impossible to compare, two people with different stories, and to
Mm-hmm.
expect, the same kind of behavior, especially towards a certain situation. And
Yeah.
also another thing, when you said being authentic, I love the word unapologetic, to be yourself without having to neither apologize for being different or being unique or being
Yeah.
authentic, or even, just own yourself, own your uniqueness. um
Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me, what would you advise your younger you, like, let us say you're 20, Matt when he was 20, or 19. What would you advise him?
Um, it's a good question. Um, it's a good question, and I think my answer. Um, hmm. So, when I was, as I said earlier, when I was younger, the younger version of myself cared a lot about what happened on the outside. And when you get to a certain level, and I was doing good studies, I was part of the French national team. Like, there were lots of things that were um, showing that it had gotten me some success, and I was pretty proud of what I had accomplished. But at the same time, there was always something that needed something else that needed to be done, something more that needed to be done in order for me to finally get that, reach that happiness or finally be proud of what I had really accomplished. Whereas before it was always like finding the one thing that didn't go my way and doubt everything else because of that. So the number one thing that I would tell myself is that if I manage to enjoy and be grateful for everything that I have accomplished up to that moment and manage to make it a habit, knowing that from that part, anything can happen. There is just a wide array of
Yes.
possibilities,
Endless.
uh, endless possibilities. And that if I have a dream or something that I really want to accomplish, it is possible. There were some things where we're like, okay, this is possible, this is not possible. But now I believe that anything is possible as long as you can align yourself with it, with your thoughts. You can align your beliefs about the situation, about yourself. You can align your emotions, you align your action. If you do that with no judgment, with no fear, with no doubting, you will get to that goal, and it will become part of your life. So it will just be a matter of choose what you're most passionate about and go at it 100%, knowing that you will get there if you make the
Mm.
efforts and you continue to apply to it. And yeah, I think it would remove a lot of the doubting or a lot of the fear to make some decisions sometimes. Um, I made I made decisions that were hard to make sometimes, but it came from a place of fighting spirit. It's like whatever comes my way, I don't care. I'll be able to fight through it and find a
Mm.
way. And in the end, I will get what I want. This is the,
Nice.
the mentality that I had. So it worked a lot in a lot of different subjects, but a lot of the time it wasn't bringing me peace as well. It was bringing me the success, but the peace was something that was sometimes a little bit elusive. Whereas now I just get both. I get what I want in terms of my goals, but I also do this being just 100% aligned with who I am and what I want to bring into this world. And because my values are so clear now, and I know exactly
Mm.
how I want to be for myself, how I want to be to others, and I don't expect anything from from anyone else. I allow the world to just happen the way it does, but within it, I'm going to get what I want, and that is I think the advice that I would give myself, to let go of everything that's happening on the outside and just focus on finding that inner alignment, knowing that you'll get your goal.
Amazing. I feel like this is definitely a solid advice for many people out there. I mean, younger or even older, because
Mm-hmm.
we get lost at times. We keep on receiving so much feedback, or also this baggage, this conditioning that we carry with us from
Mm-hmm.
a younger age. And at one point we realize that, hey, this is actually controlling me, and
Yeah.
I'm not able to show up even fully because of all this residue that I'm carrying with me.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
really, I feel like a solid advice, everyone who's listening out there, similar to Matt, or someone who's probably been through maybe a similar story, or not, the fact that you can resonate, the fact that you feel like you have a gap to fill,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you keep on trying to fill this gap from the outside, and this is
Yeah.
from your family, from your partner, from your colleagues, from anything you're
Yeah.
consuming, you know, um, you will not find the answer. And I keep
Yeah.
saying this, like, it is within you. But however, for you to see it, for you to see through yourself, this requires time, this requires
Mm-hmm.
work, this requires practice.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, tell us what are some of the tools, some of the techniques that you apply to yourself, maybe on a daily basis, that allow you to recenter, and go
Yeah.
within.
Yeah. So, and as you said, this requires work, but work in terms of, to me, it's work in terms of persistence. So as you said, a lot of the beliefs that we'll have about ourselves and that actually holding us in a certain vibration and a certain energy. If you feel, for example, that you can't trust people because they will always end up deceiving you, or you're not very good at things that require X or Y skill because you had an experience when you were younger where it didn't go as planned, and then somebody really yelled at you and it just left a mark in inside of you. Those will keep conditioning the next decisions that you will make in your life. And that's why it's such a trap. It's like those couple of years from your early childhood kind of define how you'll behave as an adult. And for some people, it will devolve a little bit because they will see experiences that will kind of differ a little bit and will make them feel like it's not as bad, or make them feel like it's a bit more hopeful. But again, it has to be something on the outside that nudges them in that direction. And the idea for me is when you do that, you're kind of victim to what's happening on the outside. If somebody does something good to you, then you feel good and you feel happy and you feel hopeful. But then if something really bad happens, then all of a sudden you're just back to being anxious, doubting, etc. And the main strategies that I use in my everyday life, or at the beginning, was to understand that those feelings that I feel, this energy that I have, those emotions that I will bring into my life and into this world every day, this is what's most precious to me. One, because this is what will condition whether or not I will be happy. If I'm feeling happy emotions, then by definition I am happy. So I want to feel that for that reason. But also because I understand that when you have those heightened emotions, you're more likely to facilitate materializing into your life the vision that you have, being something professional that you want to build, the project that you're working on, the type of people that you want to attract. If you're offering that energy from the get-go, this is what you will also bring into your life. So to me, then it became a goal of trying to protect this at all costs. And the thing is, not everything in life goes perfectly as you want. At least maybe not at this stage. Maybe that is a possibility. But yeah, you will have some things that that maybe not won't be as good, or that you won't see as happy moments. But in reality, to me, when you feel a negative emotion that is not aligned with that, let's say, that signature that you want to emit, that's a sign that there is something to break free from. For example, if I don't know, I'm wearing a special outfit that I'm super happy about, and I'm kind of like secretly hoping that people will notice and give me compliments. If somebody says, "Oh, I really don't like this," and you feel hurt, you feel this emotion, then it's a sign that the ego is there. The ego really, really wanted to have this compliment because you're not giving this to yourself to begin with. And when you're waiting, and you don't get what you wanted, then you get disappointed. So a feeling of disappointment would be, for example, one sign that there is something to let go of. You don't need someone to tell you that something looked good on you if that's something that you really like. If you really liked it and you decided to wear it, then you should feel 100% happy. And whatever happens, if people say that they love it, great. If they don't, that's also fine. But and that's one example of like an outfit, but it could be about everything. Like you're introducing your significant other to your friends or family, or you go to a job where you wanted to actually get it, but somebody says something about your past experiences that doesn't resonate. Like people, and that's again, people are allowed to have their own opinion. You don't. The only thing that you can do is decide whether or not you want to accept it and make it part of you.
Yes.
You could just say, yeah, that's your point of view based on your past experiences, based on your own beliefs about life, about interpreting the life around you, and that is 100% fine. But it doesn't have to define me. And yeah, so every time there is a negative emotion that I feel, I try to understand why. Why am I feeling this way at this moment, so that I can give the source of this negative feeling a new meaning, and say, okay, how can I give this a different interpretation that actually feeds into my scenario of me moving in the direction that I want to go to? See, like for example, if we take again the example of the clothing, of being authentic, like maybe you try something and somebody says they don't like it, then you can 100% say, okay, maybe it was a bad idea. I should have never done that. I should stick to what I already like knew. I knew this was a stupid idea, and then you accept the person comment, and you let it kind of direct your actions. But you could also say, okay, well, it shows that I'm wearing something that is different. I'm finally sticking out of the crowd, and I just the fact that I was able to say, okay, you know what? I am different, and I'm gonna own
Mm,
it, and just
yes.
be really happy about the fact that you did that. That's already a big first step towards getting a complete different life. You are stepping into the unknown and trusting that if that is something that you are aligned with, everything will go well. And if you keep doing that enough, then it will just become normal. Whatever people say or do is, if it's something that is positive to me and I want to engage with it, I go. If I don't, it doesn't emotionally affect you. It's just like something that passed, and you just allow it, and allow it to exist. Yeah, this is probably like the number one technique that I now use. Just yeah, it's just become my default mode. And another thing that also helps, that I still do quite often, is positive affirmations.
Mm, okay.
You know, when
I
you,
like those.
if the
Yeah.
goal, yeah, I think they're really, really powerful and really helpful. And the goal is, as I said earlier, to keep this internal state in the positive as much as possible, because that's what's most precious. And when you do positive affirmations about being, you're a beautiful person, you can do whatever you want in life, everything comes to you easily, you're grateful for having a healthy life, all of those positive things, and you feel the emotions associated. It's not only to just think, oh, okay, I'm happy, or I'm successful, but to really engage emotionally with it. That's when you start to imprinting it
Mm.
into yourself, and your body will actually adopt this new way of thinking. So when you will meet different situations, that will be your new default mode. So yeah, those are two of the techniques that I use the most.
Amazing, and I'm glad that you really emphasize on this higher level of awareness and consciousness when it comes to feelings, emotions, expectations also,
Yeah.
and how you relate with feedback or whatever is coming from the outside. And once
Mm-hmm.
again, I feel this is truly powerful when you get at this level. Um, so talking about, some of the situations where you felt, in maybe out of control, I would say, or, you were not totally aware of what was happening or how to react. So
Uh-huh.
what was one of the most vulnerable experiences that you've had? Maybe it was around failure or shame or depression. And once again, this is a space where
Mm-hmm.
we share what's authentic and what's really that helped us be who we are today.
Yeah, sure. I'll actually, I think there are two different experiences that I want
Yes.
to share, because they've both brought a lot to me, in terms of learning. So the first one is, as I said, when I was younger, I was competing in track and field. Got to go to the World Championships, got to
Amazing.
participate in the European Championships, and during the European Championships, actually, so the decathlon is 10 events. Each event brings you points based on the performance that you have, and then you add all of the event scores, and you have a total, and whoever has the biggest score wins. It means that you try to be as good as possible in all of the different events. And as I said earlier, in my head it was always I needed to prove more, I needed to achieve more, and it was never enough. But it's something that I learned and was able to see afterwards. When I was in it, I felt like I really wanted those things, but I really wanted them. But when you really, really want something, by definition, you don't already have it. If you really,
Okay.
really want something, you create a lot of resistance to it. It's like it's something that is outside of you. It's like maybe someday, maybe if
The
this happens, if
desire.
that happens. Yeah, exactly. And the desire is kind of like pushing it away, because if that's something that you're capable of having, then you already feel like it's part of you. Then it's just like, yeah, you have to do some work in your outer world, but it's already a done deal. Like if you need to go buy a bottle of water, for example, to the store, there is no whether or not it will happen or something crazy, maybe this or maybe that. You have the desire, but without too much importance. You give the money on the table, you take your bottle, and that's it. But what's in a goal where you actually have maybe some doubts or you feel like you don't worthy of it, then you can have this peace of mind towards this goal, and you really, really want it, because if that happened, it would mean so much. And during the European Championships in 2009, I after 7 events, I was in first position at the European Championships, and something really weird happened. It was like kind of weird to experience that, because as soon as I was in that first position, it felt like it didn't really matter anymore, as if it had lost its purpose. When I was still, battling, and maybe someday I can have it, and maybe that can happen. I was feeling myself. I was feeling good, in control. I know this position, but when I was in first, it's almost as if there was a part of me that was like, no, that can't be true. And if it's happening like this, then it's not as big of a deal, or it's not as important as it should be, or I don't know what actually happened. But the next event after that, I did really badly, and I think I was just out of the competition for a bit, and it was really hard for me for years after to understand really what happened. I ended up being second overall, which I was super happy about. I got the silver medal. It was my first international medal as well. But that particular moment, I didn't really understand why I suddenly stopped caring for a bit about this competition when I was in the lead. And it's almost as if after I had screwed up and I went back to second, which is no more normal, then I got this fire again to be like, oh, now I have to defend this place that I have. And yeah, so that really gave me an indication of whatever I accomplish, I'm not doing it because I have this inherent certainty or faith that I will be able to do whatever. It was more about, if there is adversity, I will be able to push through whatever. But if there is no diversity, it's almost as if there is something missing. And yeah, from that, it was a testament to me that regardless of what I'm working on and what I'm doing, it needs to come from the inside, something where I really, really resonate, where I'm like, if there was nothing else in this world but this one thing to do, I would still go for it. And yeah, I learned a lot in that particular moment, and still it comes back every once in a while whenever I have some big goals that I want to accomplish, to just take a step back and say, you got this. Like, you don't need this to prove anything. Already with what you have now, you're 100% complete, but this is what you want because it will add to it. It's not something that you will depend on where you actually will kind of like push away if it comes, because a lot of people actually want a lot of things, but they're not really ready to receive. Some people are like, oh, I want to be in that relationship with someone
Yes.
who's kind, who's generous, who's like this. I'm only meeting people who are so and so and so. But what if that perfect person came into your life and started talking to you, and how would you react? And the thing is, most of the time people will kind of push them away, be like, okay, no, it feels weird. Like, why is this person so like nice all of a sudden, when they could have anyone in this world, or when they could do all of this in this world? And you create the resistance yourself because you're not ready to receive. So yeah, that was the number one. Yeah, maybe I'll stop with this. After this.
Amazing.
Sorry.
I'm scotched here. It's such a it's such a powerful story that you share, and the way you share it, you're someone who really very down to earth, and I love this about you. I felt it the first moment I met you, and being someone who's been through the world, world champions, and you've got to the top of the mountain, and then I was, it reminded me of an interview I've watched a few days ago with a famous actor, Denzel Washington. And he was talking about his career in acting, and how he's been to the highest highs of being an actor. And he says, once you're on top of that mountain, the view is spectacular. However, it is a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope. So, because when you're on top there, when you've got to the maximum, let's say, there's always going to be a slide back down. And I don't know if it happened similarly for you. I mean, how younger were you when this happened? Like, how old were you when you were at this event?
21.
21. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you hit the number one, you were number one. And did you have any feeling of like as if you did not deserve it, or was it like unworthiness, or how? Because I mean, I'm trying to see how would I probably react in a similar.
Yeah, it's and I mean, and it's it was a very interesting moment. Obviously, while I was in it, I didn't have, this perspective that with
Right.
which we're talking at the moment. But yeah, I did spend some time like looking back, because when I went into this personal development journey, then you start to think about all of the different situations that you had in your life, and you start to review your life in a different light, because you have a different energy to it. Also, you are able to better understand why you made some decisions that you had. You're also able to see when you were making decisions for the wrong reasons, because today you're feeling different, so you wouldn't make the same decisions. And like when I was in that competition, and I got into that first place, it was almost as if before it was this big event that was going to bring like all the glory if I managed to do like super well. And it was like, yeah, it felt like a very impressive event. I was at the European Championships, and then I got into first, and it felt like it lost all of its sparkle. It was like almost like, if I'm first, if I'm leading this, then it must not be that crazy or that good of and I mean, it is illogical, but that's kind of, I think, like looking at it retrospectively, what I think happened. Subconsciously, that's the message that my body was feeling, like, oh, maybe that's, yeah, now then, and even the competition wasn't over yet, but just leading got me to feel that, and I think that's what I kept afterward as a learning. But yeah, I mean, maybe in 10 years, I will have a slightly different interpretation of it, but I think by now it's pretty accurate. Also, given that I also almost had like situations that were similar in other areas of my life, being in like close relationships with people where, yeah, you really want some things because you feel like those things will be responsible for making you happier, making you more fulfilled, finally recognizing your worth. And if it doesn't happen, then it becomes like an issue, and all of a sudden you start like doubting a lot of the things that you should be doubting about.
Amazing, Matt. I'm so happy to listen to you. Like, I'm just here and I'm watching and listening, and yeah, I would imagine the same for our listeners and people who are watching. Once again, thank you for being here. If you're still if you're still listening and watching, thank you so much. Feel free to share your comments. If you want to ask Matt a question, or if you want to write something down, something that resonates, please do so. It's extremely also important for us to see your interaction and feel you, and know that you're here. So I'm really enjoying this, Matt.
Yeah, it's a fun conversation as
Amazing,
always.
man. As always, yeah. Um, Tell us more about today. What is your mission, Matt?
Today, my mission. So I mean, as I said earlier, the overall mission is um, to help as many people as I can who are looking for answers, who are looking to be happier, more fulfilled, to reach goals that they may have, to help them do that. I think that with all of the exploration that I've done, trying to also anchor everything that I talk about into science. We know that science brings a lot of answers. We know that it doesn't bring all of the answers, but we know that we can use it to get a solid foundation that we can go from in terms of how our emotions actually affect our body, for example. We know that stress will lower our immune system. We know that our brain will rearrange when we think certain thoughts and feel certain things on a prolonged basis. So we know that we can impact a lot of the things in our body. And my mission is to help people understand this part first, but also then see how it can also help impact their life beyond their bodies, bringing people and situations that they actually want into their life. So that's my overall goal. But at the moment, I'm also working at Facebook, working in the partnerships team, where I help businesses grow using certain products, like, for example, sharing to Instagram and Facebook stories, the Facebook login button when you create an account on a website to facilitate the account creation. And always worked in the, well, since I stopped track and field, actually, I explored the tech world and I learned so much. So it's still bringing me a lot of valuable lessons and valuable learnings. Seeing also how you can engage with large amounts of people. Because as we said, the goal is to help as many as possible, and that's what tech is really good for. You can really scale. Doing coaching, for example, one-to-one is one thing, but helping people with the same level of quality and doing it with millions would be the overall goal. But yeah, still learning a lot from this job. I'm working with some really smart people, learning a lot also about how to really operationally be efficient, having some processes in place where everyone can collaborate with each other in a very optimized way, making sure that you communicate also clearly about everything that you're doing, strategically also. And yeah, I want all of those things to solidify while I'm working at Facebook and helping this team, so that when I move over to LVQM and work on it more fully, I know that I only have to unplug and replug, and I know that it will be ready to go, and yeah, well-oiled machine. So yeah, those are my goals.
Amazing. I love it. I want to mention, so LVQM is La vie qu'on mérite, so the life
Mm-hmm.
we deserve. And this concept, this whole, app, it's an app, and it's available right now. And it's
That's it.
not yet. Well, it's in, that's true. It's under construction.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, it's a beautiful concept that's created by Matt, but you can definitely go and check it out. You can go and visit the Instagram page, and there are some quite interesting content already up there. So it's LVQM app. Go and
Yes.
check it out. I mean, that's where you can learn to align your mindset and your goals to change your life, right? And this is what we've been
Mm-hmm.
talking about since the
Yes.
beginning of this interview. So That's really cool. I'm happy to be part of this as well. I saw
Thank you.
your like your initial kickoff and when you launched. I was really glad to see this. So I'm looking forward, really.
Yeah, yeah. Just to give you some insight on this. So right now, actually, so the app is kind of going to be the culmination of this project. As we discussed, the the place where you are now doesn't have to be the place where you are forever.
Mm,
You can at any point decide where you want to go. There is no limit, really. We may think, oh, I'm too young, I'm too old for this, or this I was never good at, or this is not who I am, etc. Now is a good time to think of, if you had no limits whatsoever and you can have anything you want in life and have the life that you deserve, really, the life that you would really want and really enjoy, what would it be? What would it be? What would you be doing if there was a guaranteed chance that you would succeed? And once you've chosen this one thing and you feel very connected to it because that's just who you are, then that's where LVQM can also continue to help. One is helping you find this one thing. Two is just like being happier in general by releasing some of those thinking patterns that you have about what others should be doing and not doing, and how situations should be and not be. Releasing all of that and focusing on just what you are bringing, first of all, just what you are bringing into this world and into the game. Um, and to change habits that you have, it requires persistence, as we said at the beginning of the video. And that's what the app will be for. It will have some video content to explain all of the concepts that we've discussed in greater detail. Give some examples of experiments that have been done also in science with what we've been able to prove and to understand. And um, once those concepts are understood, the next part is to try to apply it and see for yourself that it works. The goal is not for the people who will be using the app and the community members to believe us because it just sounds good and they feel like doing it. It's, you get interested first by the concept because on paper it does seem really interesting that you would be able to change whatever you want in life by changing the way you think and the way you feel. But the way we want people to believe it is because they have applied those techniques
mm,
and they've been able to see it from their own eyes. And once you start seeing that and you start seeing your life change as a result of your own internal actions, one, you just become truly amazed that that's how life could actually be, and it becomes way easier. And the goal of the app is to help you incorporate those new habits more efficiently and more easily into your life. You have every day a little list of things to do. There is also a community aspect that we want to put into it so that you can share those experiences and successes with people around you, with your friends, with family, anything that can help you change your mindset, change your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions, and realign them with something that you really want. That's what we want to go after. And yeah, super excited. First, we're writing a guide. So right now we are finishing the LVQM guide, which is basically it will be some content that we'll be sharing also on our website, where you can go into the concepts that LVQM will actually talk about in greater detail. You have some examples, anything that can get you excited about this new journey, and also to get feedback from people. This worked really well with me. This resonated. I love that example. Or this, on the other hand, I'm not really quite sure. And to challenge all of this, this is very much a collaborative process. The idea is to put everything that I've come to understand and I've come to apply every day in my life into one single document in a progressive way where you can follow along, and then engage the conversation. And if there is something that needs to be updated that we've understood better together, then we go back to the drawing board. And after a while, we're pretty sure that we'll have something very solid where anyone that wants to actually change their lives will be able to do so quite easily. So yeah, super excited. This project is definitely something I care about a lot. I spent a lot of time trying to find a new passion that would potentially, drive me as much as what track and field drove me back in the day. But this is just on another level.
Mm.
There's nothing else in this world that I think I would have enjoyed doing more. For me, first of all, because this is what to me life is about, to grow in the most amazing ways and pushing yourself to the limits and seeing that you are much more powerful than you ever imagine. And secondly, helping other people feel that as well. And yeah, this I could see myself doing that for the rest of my life, and that was a good sign to me that I had found my true purpose. So yeah,
Amazing,
super
Matt.
excited.
I love it. A big shout out to all the team of LVQM and everyone who's been contributing to this project. I hope they're listening to us.
They
And
certainly will.
yes, so really great job on the design and also on the content and the message. I love it, and I'm one of your top supporters, I would say. so
Wonderful.
so I'm so glad to be part of this, and love your mission. Tell us more. Who are you impacting the most today?
um Well, the thing is, the way it starts is mainly people around you, your direct circle. When I went onto this journey and started to see huge differences for myself, things that were causing me negative emotions sometimes, sadness, resentment, anxiety, or yeah, all of those things that you don't actually want into your life. When I managed to find a way to just make those disappear. You always think that it's going to be a hard battle and you need to battle every day because those things will continue to trigger you all the time. Once you've done this work and you manage to get to a new understanding, looking at things from a different angle, you can't even imagine yourself looking at things the way you did before. It's just not who you are anymore. But to
Mm,
get there, you need to apply this new way of thinking again and again and again and again, even if it feels unnatural at the beginning, until it does become your new normal. And at one point, it's just who you are. So I I started to try to help friends and family first of all, because that's the people I spend the most of my time with, and everyone has their own demons. I would say that they want to battle or silence, and trying to share what I had learned with the people that I really cared about, and trying to bring this new wave of positivity, of letting people be who they are, not judging others, allowing yourself to be happy, allowing yourself to have the nice experiences also sometimes. All of this, when I see how much it's changed the people around me, my mom specifically, now with the relationship that we have together is beyond anything I could have ever imagined. And we
amazing.
started from a very, very
That's
far place. There was almost no
wow.
communication. It was just, each yelling in our side, and now understanding that the reason why we were reacting that way together is because we had our own egos that were getting in the way of the love. But when I
Mm,
started to give myself more love and I wasn't needing anything from the outside, I was just giving this love for free and helping her just be happier, find experiences that she didn't have before, all of that. Now I can see that she's making those decisions herself without me saying, "Oh, we should do this," or "It would be good if you actually like let yourself have something nice." And yeah, seeing the difference in her everyday life and my friends' careers also sometimes when they manage to get the job that they really wanted, and they said, "Yeah, the HR people said that there were a lot of people that were actually shooting for this job." But they gave it to me because they said that the energy that I was bringing, the enthusiasm was just higher than any other participant, and they really valued that. And you have someone saying, yeah, that's 100% LVQM, and it's because I applied those things that I was able to get there. It's, to me, this is the best gift that I could ever get. Someone telling me that they were able to apply the principles from LVQM and actually have a significant impact on their lives. This is the number one thing that I want to look at. If I'm not helping you get your best life, then I'm not doing my job properly, and I need to continue better understand the different mechanisms, better understand the techniques that can be applied. But this is my North Star, helping you personally get the life that you deserve.
Amazing, Matt. Beautiful, and absolutely, you do have a big impact, a positive one on the people around you, those who know you, and probably some who do not know you. But yeah, I just want to say that, and I'll move on to our next two questions before we reach to our last part.
Okay.
So the next one is: we are all heroes. Some of us don't wear capes. Who are you a hero to?
Who am I a hero to? I don't know. I don't know who I am a hero to. I hope a lot of people find when I hear hero, to me a hero is someone who will inspire. Um, and yeah, to me, all the people who really don't care about the status quo, and they're just like, this is just who I am. This is who I want to bring into this world, and showing actually the way, showing us the way that when you do that, amazing things happen. Those are my personal heroes. It doesn't matter who they are, who they're from, if they're men, women, which
Yes.
all of the diversity. If you are stepping into your own self and bringing something special because that's truly who you are, and you're bringing some passion, then you're a hero of mine. And this is what I try to do as well. If I can inspire people to, go after this one thing that they put on the side for a long time, thinking that no, but this is not possible. This is not the right timing. You need money to do that. You need this, or I'm just not able. The concept of not being able to do something to me just doesn't exist today. If somebody said, okay, you're going to stop your job for 1 year, you're going to do this one thing that you say you're very, very bad at, and one of the best teachers in the world is going to spend 100% of their time with you, making sure that they help you the most for a really cool project that you like. If you spend a year doing that, it doesn't matter what it is, you are going to become good at it. So it's not a matter of are you able to be good. It's a matter of finding what you're really passionate about, knowing that the doing part will come if you put persistence to it. And yeah, this is a key principle also for everyone who's unsure, who has doubts, to just be like,
Yes.
try it, go. There is absolutely nothing to lose whatsoever. And now I kind of forgot what the question is, so I started to go on a tangent. I feel like I do that
Amazing.
sometimes. So
Amazing. Amazing.
please bring me back to the original question so that I can finish and wrap this
Yes,
up.
Matt, you are definitely a hero. And the question was, who are you a hero to?
Yeah.
So yeah, I bet many people around you, and I would like to say, let's start with the most precious person in your life. And I could feel it when you described now your new relationship with your mom. And let us say you are a hero to her, and vice versa. And this would be, this would be such a
Yeah, that's
beautiful statement,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. I try to be for a lot of people, her especially, because
Yes.
of despite the very tough life that she had, she was always able to put me in the best conditions. So obviously, I want to be a hero to her. And also, I have three goddaughters.
Amazing.
So yeah, lots of my friends have children as well, and yeah, I know how key it is to set the right intentions when interacting with children, making them feel like there is nothing that they can do, making them feel like they should listen to this inside voice that says, I really, really like this, I really want to
Mm,
explore that. This is what I try to bring. I try to bring that to everyone, especially with children. But um, yeah, I will always support someone going in a direction that is more aligned with who they want to become. So if I can help people get inspired because I'm doing this for myself, and they they get the feeling that maybe they can also do it too, then I will be the happiest person ever.
Amazing. I love it, Matt. One more question before we get to our last section. What is your message to the world right now? So if you have one message that you really want to spread out, you've probably said it a couple of times during the interview, but is there like one statement you want to like bring out and be like, hey, this is my voice, this is my message?
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed a lot about the subject so far, but I think there was one thing that I would say is that it doesn't matter, like, yeah, as I said, it doesn't matter where you are currently at this moment, everything is still possible. Everything is still possible, and the message is, I'm not expecting you to just believe it. I'm saying if you go down a path that I will try to make as easy as possible, also with the coming of the app, just give it a go. Just
Yeah.
give it a go. Try to apply some persistence. The idea is it will make you happier and help you bring into your life whatever you want in terms of the goals that you may have. Even if it's only the first part that works, because you're just happier when you just release the negative emotions that you have, you're able to give yourself more self-love. Even if only this first part works, and the other second part is BS, you're already winning. You're already happier. But I know for certain that both of those parts work really, really well. So I would just say, don't stay into the status quo thinking that you're trapped. Give it a go, apply some persistence, and yeah, you'll see amazing things happen. So that would be the message: to start now and believe, and really believe that things can change for the better. And yeah, you may astonish yourself.
I love it. I love it. Powerful message there, Matt. And um, here we are at our final section. I'm just trying to, look at the time and stay within the 1 hour. But so this is the fast cues section, and meaning fast question, you have to answer in one word or one sentence. Okay.
Ooh, all
good
right.
good luck with that. So
One
let's
word or one sentence.
one
Okay.
word or one sentence. Okay.
Okay.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring it on.
First one. What is the meaning of life?
Mm, love and growth. I
Beautiful.
guess
Yes.
it's one word
Yeah.
or a sentence.
Yes. Amazing. Love and growth. Yeah, we grow
Love
through
and
love,
growth.
actually. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We are put on this earth for what reason?
I kind of want to repeat the same answer I gave for the first one. I
Okay.
think the purpose. Okay, but I'm getting off the. I was going to explain my answer. I gave my answer, which is one sentence: love and growth, and then the explaining is not part of the answer, right? Trying to
No,
find
but
ways,
it makes sense. I
but
mean, yeah.
yeah. Okay, getting beyond the ego and going back to what we naturally are, which is love. So yeah, I would say love. Love is what we're here for. Love
Beautiful.
and growth.
I'm glad we both share this while we're here. So amazing.
Yes,
What is destiny?
your choice.
Your choice. That's powerful. It's great to remind everyone that it is your
Yeah,
choice. It's in your hands.
exactly.
What is true happiness?
True happiness. Uh, embracing your true purpose. I would say. I'd say one yeah. Embracing your true purpose.
Did you want to add? Did you want to add a story there or a chapter?
I'll stop with the stories. You said a word.
I
Was
love them
enough,
actually. No, I love the stories actually. We can definitely go on for hours. I love this.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, do you believe in reincarnation or an afterlife or, you know?
Okay. If you want one word or one sentence per question, you have to ask questions that don't require an entire book from me.
That's why it's called Fast Cues.
I know. I would say I'm not sure of anything that goes beyond
Yes.
the physical, but I would assume that there is a lot more than just this life.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. What is true mindfulness?
Being aware of how you feel at any moment.
Okay. And what does it mean to be present?
I would say the same, actually. Yeah, you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're just trying to give the energy that you want in the present moment for everything that you are now. It doesn't have to be something that you will be or something that you were, but right now, and all of your attention is here. To me, that is truly being present.
In the moment. Okay.
Yeah, in the moment.
How do you describe God?
God, I would describe as this this power that surrounds us that we have trouble explaining, but that is also part of each and every one of us. I believe that God is not something that is on the
Yes.
outside,
True.
but something that is just, we're all made of the same stuff in this universe. So God is also part of us. And when we start to embrace this energy, this source, this God, whatever you want to call it,
Source.
that's when you're able to, yeah, I guess that would be the purpose of life to me.
I love it. Beautiful. Well, you're good at that. Like you managed to nice. So that was our final section, but I still have one bonus.
One last question.
One bonus. So the
All
bonus
right.
is, what question have I not asked you today? If you could add one more question that was not on the list, what would it be?
I guess I have to find a good one. It's the last one too. A question that you haven't asked. You have asked a lot of questions, but maybe which person had the biggest impact on my life? Maybe that could be a question.
That's very interesting, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer at all. So would you like to share a little bit more?
I would say, well, first of all, there is my mom. She brought me up with my brother. So even if it resulted of some things that I needed to work on later on, I think the basis that she gave us was based on love, and I think that's what helped a lot also later on for me to understand that this was the key. And the more I was going to give love, the easier the things that I didn't want were going to disappear. I think I had one big serious relationship in my life, and that also pushed me into places I maybe didn't want to go inside. Those two I think were the people who touched me the most.
Amazing. Shout out to them. I hope they're well and safe wherever they are. And Matt, you've been amazing, man. I have to say, like,
Thank you. It was
I
very
yeah, I totally just saw time fly by, and I'm extremely grateful that you were here. And thanks again to the listeners, to the people who, who are watching us, wherever you are connecting from, actually. I've seen some stats of people connecting from all over the world, and thank you for being wherever you are and for joining and taking the time. Make sure to drop a comment. Make sure to follow Matt again, Mateo Sossah, and his amazing new project, LVQM app. And yeah, if you have not subscribed yet, it's time to do so you won't miss out. Much love, Matt. Thank you again, man.
thanks to you. That was truly wonderful to share those moments and yeah, dive a little bit deeper into our friendship as well. I feel by
Absolutely.
sharing those moments. So yeah, super happy that you invited me here. If people want to continue the conversation, as you say, they can reach me on social media, and I hope that you and I, will get to see each other very soon.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward as well. Until then, wish everyone a good day or a good night wherever you are, and see you next week.